Right, slinging it.
Do you want me to go now? Is that what you're telling me, to sling it?
Episode 3.
Yeah, back again, boys. Here we are.
Back in the hot seat.
Back in the hot seat, in the hot fire. What do we talk about this week?
Setups.
Setups. Right.
Setups and grips.
Right, okay.
That's constant theme. Over the 8 years I've been on YouTube now,
Setups.
what setup do you use?
How many times have you heard, what do you recommend for 9.5? What do you recommend?
What bands do you recommend? What do you recommend for
What
rabbits?
frying pan do you recommend for cooking over a stove? What, you know what I mean? Full stuff.
At least 10 times a week.
Aye.
At least 10 times a week.
And even doing this here, I don't think you'll put it to bed either.
No, not a chance. I've said it 10 times already.
Here, mate, do you do blue bands? No.
No.
Could I have blue bands?
Yeah. That's right. But no, I'm still shooting sniper sling. You're on the sniper sling
I'm on
now
the
too.
sniper. You got me on the sniper sling. Yep, I love it.
Green GZK was on for a long time.
So was I.
But
you took me down on the 4.5, and I couldn't have hit my cell with it.
no, it was 5.
5? Was it 5? I think it was. I think it was less than that. I think I have 4. Is there 4.8?
No, it was 5.8.
5.8. Maybe it was then.
I never went into the 4s. He sent me about a 4.5 yellow to try, and I shot it with 6mm. And it was alright, but I can't see 6mm still, so I would never use it. Once I let it go, I can't see it.
Setups.
So currently I'm shooting sniper sling, black and yellow. I'm shooting 0.5 black and 0.6 yellow.
Yep.
The same tapers.
Mine is only black.
Only black.
As you know,
you like the wee bit heavier draw.
I think it's just down to my really. I just like that heavier draw. It just.
You can rely on tension for release.
You can. It helps. It does help. And
the ball wants to get away. Do you know what I mean?
I think it helps more with my aiming style as well. Like you say, I'm like semi instinctive.
Yeah. It's like a hybrid between aiming and instinctive.
Yeah.
Because you're shooting cross-dominant, you've got a bad dominant eye, so you're shooting off your non-dominant eye, but that's the eye with good vision.
I'm not, well, it is my dominant eye, but not my dominant side. But like I said in the previous video, it never occurred to me to shoot the other way.
Yeah.
But my setup currently for 8mm steel is 23 to 13 with a 15cm draw length.
Boys ask me all the time, how do you find your draw length? I normally cut a few band sets and just trial and error, but like a formula you can use is you tape your draw length with a measuring tape and divide it by 5.5, or depending on how maxed you want it, you can divide it by 5 if you want a maxed out band, 5.5, mid-range, 6.
Yep.
I've seen some people recommending dividing it by 4.
I've actually, when you talk about maxed out bands, I try and tend to leave 5mm extra. Yeah. Just for band life. Yeah. And also when it's maxed out, obviously the 0.5 isn't hard to hold on to, let's be honest. Yeah. Unless you're some fucking boy. I'm not going there. But no.
A maxed out band, no matter what it is, can be hard to hold on to.
It can be hard to hold.
And it's aggressive in how it shoots. It's not smooth.
No.
So you don't want to max them out.
But a 5, I always leave maybe a 5mm extra on that. So and when I'm making my band sets, I am so pernickety. Like, I will measure and cut, right, up and down. And then what I'll do, I'll get a ruler and I'll measure exactly where the pouch goes. Yeah. Right, because I'm OCD that way. Yeah. And then at the other end where you tie it on, I'll get a marker, like not even a Sharpie, but something thin, like a white pen. Because it's black, obviously, you wouldn't put black on it. No. No, you wouldn't do that. And then I'll take maybe 10mm. Aye. And then I'll draw it, and then I'll put that either on the fort tip, the top, you know, just above the groove, or I'll put it on the groove. That's why I like the clips. I can't be annoyed doing that. See, it doesn't bother me. And even when I do the clips, I still do the same. You still mark them, even though they only go in until the screws. I still mark them. It's just I've always done it. I just couldn't. My OCD wouldn't let me do it any other way. Like. The first shoot I went to in England was in 2015. It was in Andover, and I was shooting TheraBand Gold, tapered 28mm to 18mm.
with a 60mm pouch and 9.5 steels.
What were you shooting? I remember that
A
set.
Maxim Champ.
28mm to 18mm.
28mm to 18mm singles. And that was the first single band I had went on to. Up until then, I was shooting double 18 to 12 TheraBand gold with 9.5 steels, which is quite good. You know, if all you can get or afford is TheraBand gold, that's quite good.
I tell you what we haven't touched on.
But I was maxing them, and I was only getting 50 or 80 shots out of a band set. I went to Andover with a caddy with bands on it, 5 band sets, and by the time I finished the shooting for the weekend,
yeah,
I was on my last band set.
Aye. That's just no life in it. Like, it's like
Maxing them.
Do you remember Gamekeeper drawing? I bought a set of them. They were 30 to 10. I think you got about 6 shots out of it.
Aye.
And that was gone. Like,
Aye.
you know, I never bought. I didn't like that there. I like a bit of band life. But what we forgot to talk on, and while we're doing setups and talking about elastic, latex.
The American stuff.
The American stuff.
Aye.
It was deadly at the time.
Aye. It was
Deadly.
it was
0.3 and 0.4. 0.4.
Aye, but that's it wasn't 0.3 of a mil like you would think the way bands are measured now. It was like a 30th of an inch or something. Something like that.
It was American.
Aye, it was imperial measurements, freedom units, as the Yanks call them. 0.030 and 0.040.
That was it, yeah.
And the 0.4, I used to import that a lot. I shot it, I think.
remember you having rolls of this stuff.
But then they couldn't make it anymore.
There was something, there was some, and it was a whole kick up. Nathan Masters was on to them.
Because he shot the 0.4 as well.
Yeah.
He shot the thicker stuff as well. That was 1 mil thick, that stuff.
Aye, that was 1 mil thick.
But
it was deadly stuff. That was like when TheraBand was there, and the only stuff, good stuff we could get was the latex.
And you were paying a bomb for it.
Aye. You were getting murdered with that there, aren't you?
By the time you shipped it over and then paid the import tax on it, you know, you were buying it, you were paying half the price of what you paid to buy it, to ship it, and then you were paying the same price again on the Royal Mail duty tax getting it in.
Aye.
But it was worth it because that's all you had.
That was worth it because TheraBand was so good, so bad.
25 to 20 I used to shoot. Overkill.
Overkill, massive overkill. Like if you were shooting that latex now, it'd be down to fucking, it'd be like maybe 18 to 12 or something.
Asa made me a checker plate frame.
That's right.
An aluminium checker plate frame. I think I had 2 of them and I shot them. I remember having them banded. There's actually probably one in a drawer somewhere still with the 0.4 latex.
I would say it's probably like a walker, The Walking Dead.
I think the first competition I ever won, I was shooting.
You were shooting latex.
I was shooting that 0.4 latex. Nathan Masters used to shoot it a lot as well, and then he was quite upset whenever.
I remember that.
Whenever he couldn't get it.
Was there black latex as well?
He brought that out after them.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Simple Shot Black, you can
Simple
still buy
Shot
it.
Black, yeah.
It's quite good. It's better than TheraBand.
Yeah.
That was like the first new thing.
Aye, it was. Aye.
After TheraBand.
Right. Holy shit! What's that there?
And it's good. It lasts a long time. Aye.
Looks cool.
And then GZK came out with the GZK White.
Yeah, I remember it.
And I remember people didn't want to admit that it was better than TheraBand.
That's right.
You know,
I remember you saying to me, you got me onto it, so you try that.
0.8 I was shooting.
Yeah.
But you never got a 0.8 band like that before. It was so fast. And whenever I was in Cheltenham and I met him in Italy and then I met him in Cheltenham again in 2019, and he said to me, I was like, why could they never get that again? Or what happened with that? Why was it discontinued? And latex is made from, the latex is made from trees. It's a sap from the trees, it's natural material. The inconsistencies in latex is the inconsistencies in the latex that's harvested from the trees. Not every tree is the same. And then it's also the man in the factory stirring it. So he says, and the dyes, you have different dye ratios. So he says, the way he put it to me is, say you have 2 boys in the factory and they've got a big pot of the latex molten, and one boy's stirring it.
Another boy's away for a fag.
The other boy's away for smoke breaks. He's away sitting in the bog scrolling.
Aye.
You know what I mean?
Aye.
He's got a bad batch. This other boy's got a good batch. That's where the good and bad batches come from. You know? I thought that was very interesting. But the white stuff, why you couldn't get the white stuff anymore? Because the latex was harvested from Malaysia. And they harvested it all.
Aye, they just took it off.
There was none left. So the specific tree, the specific forest, where that come from.
Just killed.
Aye, we just used it. We consumed it all.
Jesus.
You don't think about that.
You don't think about that, no.
You know.
You just think that's just latex forever, like.
Yeah.
And it's not.
No.
But getting back to setups there, them things revolutionised it, obviously, like, you know, but that setup I'm using for the 8mm steel. Remember we cronied some of the stuff?
Aye.
The crony is an absolute amazing tool. If you can get your hands on one, get one, because...
Well, whenever you get it, what happens to you whenever you start letting shots go over a crony?
You get through a pile of rubber.
Aye, and you start chasing the speed.
Aye.
You start chasing speed, and you chase the speed to a point when the speed that you're getting is phenomenal, but it's not
Practical.
It's not practical to shoot. I caught a .6 yellow sniper sling band at 25 to 13 with 8mm steel. Maxed out to about there, so probably like a 32 or 33 inch draw, maybe 34, 330 feet per second. You know, like that's...
I tell you, I remember coming up to yours and shooting. I was shooting 7.6 GZK black with 8mm steel, right? And we thought, because you're not getting the full energy of the band, because the band is too heavy, it's too overpowered for the 8mm.
Yeah.
We were surprised that came out at over 300 feet per second. Because that's only coming out. You're not getting the full power stroke.
No, but you can get a .5 band to do the same speed.
Aye.
You know, so you're not fighting with a draw, but the .5 band that'll do the same speed as that won't last long.
I actually thought it was going to come out slower.
Aye,
because
so
it's only, you're not getting the full power stroke of the full retraction of the bands.
Aye.
It's coming out here.
Yeah, so the way people, whenever they talk about overpowering bands, so you've got a powerful band, a thick band that snaps back really fast. If the projectile in that is too light, say this is the power stroke, this is the, you know, the forks, this is the pouch. If it's overpowered, it'll retract that fast. If the projectile is too light, it'll spit the ball out of the pouch about here.
You're not getting the full...
You're not getting the full momentum. You're wasting a load of momentum.
Yeah.
So that's why they talk about if it's matched properly, it'll accelerate right to the very end. And gamekeeper John Webb proved that years ago with a crony, because he used to shoot, in the early days, he used to shoot treble TheraBand gold.
That's right.
And then he realised that the doubles was actually like 20 feet per second faster.
Because you were getting the full retraction of the bands.
Like a treble band, you'd need a 16mm lead to be to be taxing that rubber enough.
And they're not going to hold on to one of them.
No.
You'd nearly need a fucking release system, like a fucking compound bow.
Yeah.
To fucking just let it off. Is there not actually things like that for cars?
There is. The Chinese have got magnetic pouches with D-loops on them. Boom. And you can just use a mechanical arrow release.
Do you know what I seen the other day, actually? It was funny. You know, I just got myself a compound crossbow there. Well, while
they're illegal down south, you know, in the Republic of Ireland. Isn't that crazy?
Just as well we're not down there, aren't there? There's too many. Maybe they're legal down there for a reason. Too many headers down there, maybe.
There's plenty of headers up here.
Well, that's very true. Two here. But what I seen was a compound bow that shot
12mm steel.
Steel balls.
Aye, there's a magnetic thing on it. Do you know there's 2 strings in that thing? And that's how that works. The cam, there's 2 ridges on it, 2 strings, and the arrow knocks on a wee thing in between them.
Is that where the ball goes in?
There's a magnet in there as well. That thing does wicked speeds.
Oh, I'm sure.
But it's a minimum of like a 12mm ball. Or maybe it's not even a minimum, maybe it's just specifically a 12mm ball.
Aye, because it's like we were talking about power stroke and overpowered, it is calibrated exactly for it. Like,
if you had an 8mm on there, it'd be like you're dry firing it.
Aye.
And you'd rack the cams, you'd rack the bow.
You take a 90-pound, say it's a 90-pound compound bow, right, with 12mm steel in it.
Aye.
It's going to do that tree over there.
Aye. But I think that bow is like 80-pound draw weight or so.
That was scary looking thing. Like, here's me, how the hell? You imagine load that all.
It does a crazy speed. It does over 300 feet per second with 12mm steel.
See if you could get, you know, like, is it your spray done the whip shot? It's just boom, 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 EK archery.
Aye.
If you done one like that with steel balls on it, and every time it went back, it lifted a ball.
He has done mad stuff like that, you know, repeaters and all.
He's another one from way back in the early days, and people watched his channel. He was one of the first.
Yeah.
On the YouTube there, York's Brave.
He's...
Do you mind he happened selling the head with a 20mm steel?
No, he faked it.
Loads
of people sent that to me.
Loads
of people said, watch this, better not happen to you. He faked it. It was a,
as soon as he
fake.
said it, it was like...
That went so viral.
You're not walking about that thing.
There was people that stole that video that reposted it. Do you know what I mean? Like, they didn't share his, they ripped it and reposted it. And them clips went viral. You know, it went viral about 5 different or
I
more.
don't know how many people showed me that. Say, here, you don't see up by the fucking ball. I
still get sent it yet.
The series is good.
But his follow-up video, he showed how he done it. You know, and at that time he was trying to make a movie or something. But what about grips?
Grips, well,
we've got pinch grip, brace grip, and hammer grip.
I think what I started with was obviously the True Mark
hammer grip,
which was a hammer grip.
Yeah.
And then it went to pinch grip and modifying brace grip frames to make them pinch.
Aye. What did you go to after the True Mark?
What did I go to? Now you're asking.
So the True Mark was the Chief AJ one.
True Mark was like your Barnett Diablo, Barnett White Widow and all them there.
No, but the True Mark was a wee bit better.
It was better, but it was the same. It was
the Chief AJ thing,
it was the thing that come up, and then the forks went back and the tubes went onto them, and they had a pouch on them. You get a pot of cannonball on it.
Aye. My first one was after, obviously, the Black Widow as a child, as a youth, was a Gamekeeper Pocket Rocket 4.
You loved that?
Aye. I got him to make me another one.
Did you get,
I traded it.
You
traded it with a fella in America.
I always meant you saying you wish you never got rid of that.
Just for the sentimental. And then he stopped, Gamekeeper John stopped doing the plywood because the price of the birch went crazy over lockdown. He started doing plastic. And I said to him, you know, I'd love another PR4. And I was messaging him one day and he says, hold on, I'll have a look for the template. And he made me another one.
Out of Ply? Out
of Ply.
Cool.
So
he was casting them as well, do you remember?
I don't think he ever cast it the PR4. I think Pro Shot does the PR3, which I nearly like. I don't like it better because the PR4 is sentimental to me, but specifically for the design, I like the PR3 better.
Yeah.
The forks were a wee bit lower on it. It just looked a wee bit nicer and all. You know, but I loved the series of watching that evolve.
Yeah.
I rewatched and watched all them videos.
So did I.
Waiting on it to come. You know?
With bated breath. Just like slinging it here.
Just like slinging it.
Yeah, that way.
Aye.
What setup are you using there now at the minute? Have you got 2 or 3 setups there for different stuff? Or you know, say for example on your Titans or on your Companions, are you running setups, the same setup the whole way through that series?
Pretty much. 22 to 12.5 Sniper Sling Black.
Or yellow? Is it a different taper for yellow?
No, I like 22 to 12 on the yellow.
Right.
But I've got a few there that are 20 to 12 so on the black.
It's 10 mil.
10 mil taper, or the 20 to 12 will be like if I'm doing a trick shot or, well, that Tic Tac I shot, that was a 20 to 12 setup. Boys asked me as well, how many takes did it take you to do that? First go.
First go, no doubt. First
go.
I've seen it.
First go. I don't do takes.
No.
First shot.
Many takes have we done with this? We don't do takes on this.
There's not too much editing going on here.
No, there's not. There's a bit of censorship.
Aye,
but we'll leave that there.
Yeah.
But like, do you remember we shot for a long time, 23 to 17? We thought that was the dog's nuts, like.
Aye, 23 to 17.8 with 9.5 steels.
Aye, that was the dog's nuts, like.
It's a good.
I even shot that with green, 0.6.
Aye.
23 to 17 and was successful with it.
From 0.8, well, I went to a competition in England one time with an RCC Raptor, Rap and Tuck, shooting 9.5 steels with GZK White, 0.8, 23 to 17, and won 3 out of the 4 events. 9.5 steel.
9.5 steel.
Because the 20 metres, there was no drop.
No drop.
It was
bang.
Poof.
It's hard to judge drop on a catapult, like.
Aye.
It's so hard.
And it's the reason for that is because the climate and the temperatures.
Aye, fluctuates.
Yep. Like, it might not be that cold Celsius, but you've got a wind and the chill is coming, and the chill's killing the bands.
That's right.
The chill is killing the bands.
Like your guy, our mate in Canada there, he had the hand warmers. If anybody's seen the last episode there or whatever, if you're out hunting in the UK in the winter, I would highly recommend what that guy does. He puts the hand warmers in the pocket and puts the catty in the pocket. So
depends how quick you are.
Out.
It depends how quick you are.
But it's not going to cool down if you're not one of the guys that holds for 10 minutes.
Aye.
If you're in the pocket and you're out and it's warmed, there's pigeon, there's a squirrel. Bang, done. Back in the pocket.
Back in the pocket.
Happy days.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
It is a good idea. Residual heat in the frame as well, like the frame will heat up, and the frame might, you know what I mean?
Especially if you're using an alley frame there.
Aye. A mate of mine used to have a Zippo pocket warmer that you like opened up and you could light it, and it was like a wee ember inside it, and you closed it up again. They're dear enough, like I think they're 40 or 50 quid, but they're good.
I don't know about putting an ember into my pocket.
I'd rather an ember in my pocket as a bag full of chemicals.
Aye.
You know what I mean?
Well, I suppose you're right. A bit different, maybe heat. But when I'm out, I have the gloves and I put the mitts and I put the wee
I just keep
warmers
I like to keep it in the breast pocket.
I keep the batteries in the breast pocket and the -5 when you're out under the hill. You know the
batteries?
18650s for scopes and stuff like that. Keep them warm because they've been out before and they just die on you. So, but we're getting off topic there.
We're both shooting brace frames.
Brace frames, yep.
The benefit of shooting brace is, and brace is the most difficult for a newbie to get onto.
Aye, they just can't. They want to go.
You have to nearly put their hand in place.
They'll grab it. They'll grab it and that'll be like this.
Aye. And then you'll try and show them a brace, and then they'll put one finger up, but the thumb will still be around the handle.
Aye.
But brace allows you to shoot a slim frame.
A poacher frame.
You can, like a slim pinch grip frame or a slim hammer grip frame is terribly uncomfortable.
Aye.
A slim brace frame.
With a pinch grip frame, you need that swell.
You need the ergos.
Aye.
You need it. It needs to be a 3D frame. Brace grip, a natural wrist position. Pinch grip, your wrist can be cocked up a bit.
Yep.
So that'd be the downfalls. Would be your wrist can be cocked. It's thicker. It's not as pocketable. The benefits to it is it's easier to hold on to.
Is it more beneficial would a pinch grip, would you say, be more beneficial for
A beginner.
TTF than OTT, or does it matter?
I think it suits TTF better.
I think it suits TTF better because that OTT wants to go.
OTT pinch grips aren't popular.
I think I haven't shot many of them, but ones I have shot, I shoot a hammer grip OTT.
Yeah.
So the Chinese thing, I think it's class. I love it. I've took a load of stuff with it.
I like hammer grip for TTF. I don't like it OTT.
It's weird that it's just different boys,
Brace
different
grip
strokes for different folks.
Aye. Brace grip is for OTT. That's my thoughts on it. TTF. I just think pinch grip suits it better.
It does suit better, doesn't it? Everything seems more lined up. Whereas OTT's out here.
Yeah.
Whereas TTF, you're just looking.
The edge of the band comes right into the finger. On Gamekeeper John's Pocket Poacher series, PPSG, PPMG, PPMG plus, all that there, the PPSG was the best.
Yeah. I think I got one of the first batches.
You did, aye.
So that
They were the
best. They were the best.
They
one.
were.
First or second, I'm not sure. I think nearly it was the first batch.
By the time I bought one, the fork tips weren't as good.
No.
And I don't know what went on in the casting process, but another thing about them, when I bought mine, the fork that I aim off, because I shoot left-hand hold, is the opposite fork to what you aim off.
Aye.
Right, so the aiming dump wasn't in the middle.
That's right.
Oh, I was sick.
Oh, the butcher would have to come out there.
Aye.
Like,
and Gamekeeper John originally made the plywood one with 27mm tips, 100mm wide. See, the cast one I got had 18mm tips, and it was 95mm wide. So whether he's like casting off a cast, or they're polishing a lot out of them, or
No, I think definitely that the first
my Titan that you can buy off Pro Shot. People ask me all the time, where can I buy one of your natties? The quickest way you can get something I've made is off Pro Shot. It's one that I made out of beech Catapult Carnage and all be laser etched onto it. ProShotCatapults.co.uk. Anyway, master copy, 90mm. One you buy off ProShot now, 85.
Because of the polishing.
I don't know.
Strange, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, if he's doing that in a sand mould, into the sand like that, right?
Yeah.
Makes the mould whatever way he makes it, pours the stuff. He takes that out, it's rough. But that's the size that it was.
Aye.
You have to get rid of that rough.
You nearly have to make that 95mm.
You need how to make it bigger.
Aye. So if anybody's out there wanting to do that, make a caddy bigger, or the delay for the polish.
Aye.
Aye.
Not that people just cast a catapult for somebody. I think if you actually do make a catapult and you want it cast, if you email ProShot, he will cast it for you as a one-off. But it'll not be just anybody that'll cast a catapult and sell them on the website, you know.
Going back to the grips, I think I followed you the brace. So brace was the last one I done.
Aye.
Wasn't it?
It was, aye.
Because I think I shot. Do you know what got me on the brace? Do you remember the purple Raptor, the carbon fibre one with the purple screws in it? We took it out one night. There was 2 foxes in the chicken coop.
A purple Raptor?
No, it was a black. It was carbon fibre black.
Aye.
I was like,
Aye.
that's fucking deadly, that there.
Aye.
I like that because I was shooting the PPSD with the lip tubes on.
That's right.
Do you remember?
That's my purple Raptor.
And
That's,
I actually.
that's the one that the boy Fork had twice on me.
Aye.
No.
That's the very one. I remember grabbing it. And because I was obviously on my right hand hold, I had to turn it around the other way so the forks weren't even coming over the back of the fork tips. I was like, out there.
That was the first one. That was one of the first ones Ace made as well.
I was like,
I still have that.
I like a look at that there. I like this here. And ever since then, that's what got me under the brace and the thinner frames.
We should bring out a lot of our old stuff for some of these episodes and look through it all.
Mate, do you know what I was up and I seen the other day? Do you remember we used to get the Catapults cut? Water jet cut.
Aye.
Right? And I was getting the Tube Master Snipers cut. And I think there's one I sold to a guy, you know the Mexican guy that shoots the dogs? Giovanni. Right? I made a deadly one. I made it and I made the Tube Master Sniper and the pinch grip ergo.
Yeah.
Do you remember? I shaped the aluminium and all, and I had
That's
it
right,
laminated on and all.
What had you got on that, Elm or something?
No, did I put you on it?
No, it wasn't you.
And what was it? I was thinking about it the other night. I was like, fuck, do you remember that thing? He was mad for it, like.
He's done a lot of shooting that.
He
shot on a dove, man.
Aye, he's killed loads of stuff. But I remember
off the wires.
Aye, off the wires in the golf course.
Aye.
I remember I put it up in one of the groups and he messaged me straight away. Will you sell me that? Because it was all.
What'd you get for it?
I can't remember.
Probably too cheap, 40 quid or something.
Probably fucking too cheap. But I made another one, and I was up in the roof space the other night there after we'd done the podcast the other day. I was up looking, I was getting something else, and I just seen a bag full of stuff. And I was looking, and there's another one up there done in you, and I had done it the same way. But then I had one away from pinch grip.
Aye.
But it was fucked then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had painted it fucking black and all, and then I remember I was like, I tried to then turn it into a fucking pinch grip frame, and I took the U and I had sanded all the U down flat and all the crack like, but it's still there and it still probably works like, you know, but the Tube Master Sniper.
You went to a narrower frame as well. You went from 100mm to 90mm.
Aye.
And you never really went back to 100?
No, I never went back. After the PPSG, I never went back to 100, and then the Tube Master Snipers, I'm sure they're fucking 100 or more.
Most
Flat band
people...
sniper as well, I shot for a while.
Flat band sniper?
Flat band sniper. I still have one up there.
What is it?
Flat band master sniper. It's a Tube
Oh,
Master.
aye, a Bill Hayes one.
Aye, Bill Hayes one.
Aye.
But it's like...
Aye.
Fucking...
But he doesn't really... He's sort of in between a pinch and a brace.
Yeah.
The way he holds that. And apparently he's a right out lump of a man, like he's 6'5" or something.
Aye, he's a big
hands on him like shovels.
Aye.
You know, but he does a few small frames,
He
like
does.
Boy Scouts and all, that look really nice. I think you can get the templates on Google.
You can get the templates of most of his stuff. That's where I get the templates, and then I just got the water jet cut. But mine was like 10mm and stuff like that there. But obviously 10mm because I was shaping it in.
Aye, you're just shooting that solid alley frame.
Aye, solid alley frame. But you know, when I was laminating I was pinning that
Aye.
to the frame. and then shaping around the U and whatever else I put on it. Like, but
It's hard to laminate natural timber, so you're going, like, you collect them out here and then go and try and laminate it to a bit of steel.
I was buying it
Because the steel is sitting idling at a different temperature than the timber.
I think that's what I just pinned it all. I just pinned it.
Even if you pin it, but
still delaminate.
the lips curl up or it cracks or...
That's happened a few times. I remember doing it with oak. So I done it with oak. I think oak was the best one I got.
Aye. Oak doesn't shift.
No, it doesn't.
Once you get oak to... If you're going to cut a bit of oak, right, what I suggest would be, if you're feared of it moving, shifting or cracking, cut out the two-dimensional shape of the catapult and leave it for a fortnight.
Aye, see if it moves.
It's never shifting after a fortnight. It might move a wee bit, it might not, but after that fortnight of it being at the shape of the catapult, it's not moving again.
Sure, that apple one you done for me, do you remember it sat there for a year?
Aye.
And like,
yeah, it wasn't getting sunlight, it wasn't getting air.
And when you cut it,
I knew it was green.
it moved, it just moved. It wasn't green because it had been cut for 2 years previous.
The two, aye, but there's in the core of it.
Aye, in the core it wasn't. Yeah.
The forks went like that a wee bit. And then I just left it partially shaped and sanded it back flat again, and it was dead on.
Oh.
I made a catapult out of the other side of that and lost it.
You lost that? Why does that not surprise me?
Well, I think my young boy's pinched it. I think he's away with it.
You're going to have to chastise that young fella.
No.
Put him out into the back garden in the boxer shorts to pick up the dog shit. With a blue pipe.
The blue Avalon.
The blue Avalon is right up there, man.
Aye, so for a beginner,
don't overpower your bands.
no.
Get a setup where you're not, don't max them out. Keep maybe 5mm. If you're cutting bands, keep 5mm extra.
Do you recommend people shoot clay ammo?
Never done it.
I've never done it either.
Don't ever remember thinking.
Clay's a big thing now, especially on the USA page. You see a lot of guys, oh, where's the best place for clay shot? Guys put up videos shooting clay shot. And then you need a very light band for them as well. Well, it's not, it's a waste of time, isn't it?
It's like, it's like the gum rubber.
Aye.
You know, it's just...
Oh, the Spanish shoes. You could spit the ball faster.
Aye.
But, you know, it's too different when you go to steel. It's like practicing with marbles and then going out to do a good bit of shooting with steel.
Aye. It's not consistent, yeah.
It's a different thing.
Beginner setups, you know.
If you just want to smash things around in the back garden and that's all you're ever going to do, and you just want clay because it's not dangerous and it's biodegradable or whatever, you know, get a wee light set of bands, 0.45, 0.5, something like that.
Hit cans, bottles, whatever.
8mm steel, 0.5, 0.6, up until 0.7 with a narrow taper.
Narrow taper, yeah.
20 to 12, 22 to 12, 20 to 10, stuff like that. You can go a wee bit, like I've went that 330 FPS or 340 FPS I got was a 0.6 band, 24 to 12 I think it was, or 25 to 13 or something.
Well, I'm quite set on my 23 to 13, gives me extra puff. I can still shoot 8.5 lead with that.
But that's hard setup to give to a beginner.
Aye.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
But, you know...
And 10 metres. Practice at 10 metres.
Aye.
Don't think you're Johnny Big Bollocks and go out to 15 like I used to try and then say, oh, fuck me.
Yeah.
That's my distance when it's not. Go to 10 metres.
Practice at flat trajectory.
10 metres, big target, work on form.
Bean tins.
Bean tins. Fucking biscuit tins.
Biscuit tins. Bin lads. Aye.
There's a few of them a bit.
Aye.
You know.
OTT or TTF for a beginner? Does it matter?
Well, if you're a beginner and you've only shot one way, then it'll not matter. And it won't matter if the first time you pick the catapult up and you shot OTT, it'll not matter. Because it's the only way you know.
You're probably going to fork hit your frame.
Yeah. But through the forks, you're not. You still can. And I have done.
A lot of boys do.
And I'll tell you another thing what you'll do.
See what they do is the speed bump the release.
You'll hit your thumb.
Hit your thumb.
Jesus.
Jofi shot his thumb one time at a shooting wheels, and I mean, up the frame, there was blood up the frame and everything.
I've done it, mate. See, there's a lump there. There's a lump there. And that's from years ago, shooting leads. And see when you get a 14mm lead on your thumb, let me tell you, you fucking know about it.
Philip Neeson, The Great Outdoors. I was teaching him to shoot one time. We were setting up a shoot, an event, and we had the targets and the stands and the backdrop and all up. And I was trying to teach him how to shoot, and he shot himself in the hand there with a 9.5 steel, 23 to 17, like we used to shoot. He's still marked.
Still marked on it.
And that was 2017, 6 years ago.
It comes out at some rate, and that's sore. See when that hits you?
Bang, that's the fastest it's going there.
Aye. But if you've any balls at all, you'll just fucking keep on shooting.
He never peeped, he never made a flinch.
Never made a flinch.
And then he goes to me the next day, showed me the mark, and it was wild wilt, and he was like, that was wild sore, you know.
Shit, sure done. Yeah.
Aye. But, aye, what frames do you recommend for beginners? That Scout's a good frame.
Scout's a good, something ergo.
Really?
For a TTF, if you're talking TTF for beginners, because if you'll more chance of fork hitting the frame if you're OTT brace. But
Wasp's good stuff.
Wasp's good stuff. It's bomb-proof.
I've seen a couple of them break.
But I mean, say like some fork hits and stuff like that, or are you talking breaking with fork hits? Or?
I've seen a couple of them break, but you know, out of thousands and thousands.
Aye, and they're cheap.
And they're cheap.
I have a couple of Wasp frames here. Still would throw about put bands on them the odd day.
The Wasp, what's the one the first one he brought out that didn't really sell that good? It was the Unifox that really took off.
Aye.
Delta Wing.
Delta Wing.
Delta Wing. I like it.
I don't like
See, for pointing forward now, I shot a pigeon with it one day. 35 to 15 bands. Sniper, or not sniper sling. Simple shot back, black. 20mm taper like that. Big long draw like that. And he was way up in the canopy, up the height of that canopy there.
Bang, drop them.
Aye, it was class. Because there's big tall forks on it, so you can really point it. It's pointed out that far, you've nearly got 4 inches extra.
Aye,
but
and it's coming out quick.
Aye, but there's wild slap off it. No cost of bands.
You need a glove.
A glove.
You need a fucking Ken glove there.
That's Ken's original first setup. Power thirsty Ken.
Aye, power.
It was that overpowered. The band slap was that bad. He wore a shooter's glove with tape and foam duct taped
across the fingers
to take the slap rather than try and adjust the setup. He was like, no, that's class.
When it came out, there was nearly
I was like a rocket.
I was nearly a sonic boom off it. You're standing beside it.
Bye. Bye. That was good crack, boys.
But it's still hitting spinners with it.
You were.
Boom, boom, boom.
Improvise, adapt and overcome. I know what to say.
Big fucking cowhide pouches.
Maybe we used to get the stuff off the identity store.
I was looking at it the other day because I need to make myself a new strap because my strap's been cut up a bit trying to strap that big knife there. But I was on looking at the identity store and we're going to buy another.
Not for pouches. See, once you
no, it's not for pouches. It's just literally for straps.
Class.
See when we get onto that. See when we found that 1.2mm. That was fucking deadly stuff.
It's good for the heavier ammo, and I'll tell you what it's brilliant for is tabs.
Yeah.
See, if you want to put leather tabs on your forks and attach your elastic to the tabs, which is still a good way to shoot.
Yeah, that smoke's doing your head in there.
Aye, it's just
because it's died down a bit.
It's dying down a bit. But yeah, I think we'll leave it there for this week.
I think so.
Again, love the feedback.
Any points you want to, just the end points for beginners you want to touch on just for bullet points so as people can go away and go, right, okay, that for that. I'll let you crack on there.
Don't chase power. You know, just start off where you can like practice for a decent amount of time without becoming overly fatigued. I would say for a band that's easy to cut with a ruler and a template, 20 to 15. So 8mm steel, 20 to 15, 0.5 band. 9.5mm steel,
0.6.
0.6, 0.65, 0.7.
Yep. With a wider taper.
Yeah.
You could, maybe a 10mm taper.
20, 25 to 20 maybe.
Yeah.
But then again, we're beginners, so probably a 0.6 sniper sling black cut at 20 to 15, or 22 to.
Keep the same taper for a heavier ball for an 9.5 steel.
And then
a heavier elastic.
Say 10mm lead, we'll go 0.8.
0.8 sniper sling black.
25 to 20.
Yep.
something around there. And once you're starting to become familiar with that, you will be able to, you'll gain the knowledge yourself to tailor that to your needs.
That's a basic guideline.
Because it's such an individual thing, and you've got a different hole, different draw time, different climate.
Different draw length.
Different draw length. Draw length is a big thing. Get a tape measure, pull it out like that to your anchor point, to where the catapult is. Take that measurement, divide it by 5.5, and that's your active length. That is the length of the band when the pouch is attached and it's attached to the forks.
Yeah, 100%. I'd agree with that.
And then if that's too tight, divide it by 6.
Keep it at 10 metres.
Practice at 10 metres. And if you're a total beginner, you can actually practice at 8, 7 or 8.
And if you're a total beginner, the old saying of aim small, miss small is not going to help you, because you'll end up more frustrated. If you had a 60mm spinner at 10 metres and you're hitting it, then you go from there. You go down, you go down, you go down, you go down, you go down. Aim small, miss small is sort of like tic-tacs and shit like that. You know,
well, if you're shooting a beer tin, say you're shooting a Pepsi tin, you've got the Pepsi logo, aim for the red on the Pepsi logo.
Yeah.
You know, don't just aim at the tin.
Or turn the tin on its arse.
Aye.
And go for the middle of it. Or chase cans, that's good crack.
Yeah. Throw it on the floor and chase it up.
Chasing cans is good fun. So that is.
Right, so that's it. Again, love the feedback. Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe and all that malarkey.
Yeah.
We're enjoying making these, aren't we?
We are. It's good crack. It's something different for me, something different for you.
Yeah.
But I think we just try and keep we try and keep it organic as possible. This isn't scripted by no means whatsoever.
Really?
Good shit. We just kind of just feed off each other, bounce off each other. You're just getting insight to conversations me and Chris has had over the years and still have.
Yeah.
Talking absolute guff. Maybe sometimes.
Pure nonsense. This is highly censored.
You know, but it's great to share it with you guys.
Pioneer Bushcraft on Instagram.
Yeah.
Give them a follow, or we're coming for you. Right. See you next time, lads.
See you after.
Oh, that was good. Pity that was long.
Oh, boys. My fucking arse is dead.
Oh,